Hello everyone. Let's just reset our timer first, as always. There we go, I apologize. So this is Steve from Middle Kingdom Fitness, and I'm doing a little bit of cardio today, but I got some very important things I want to talk about. And your feedback would be greatly appreciated. Those of you who are watching these videos. Let me just start off by saying I never do cardio first thing in the morning. Well, it's not first thing in the morning. I've had 2 cups of coffee at breakfast, but it is at about 7:30 in the morning. I usually do my cardio in the evening, but I've been having back stiffness the last couple of days. So I thought maybe I'll just pedal this out. I don't know if I'll do 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'll just at a slow pace, and hopefully I'll be able to work it out and do my shoulder and leg workout later. I am a little bit leery about doing legs with my back feeling stiff. It's funny because it doesn't seem like the back exercises hurt my back as other exercises. I shouldn't say hurt, tighten it up. It doesn't hurt. It's hard to walk around. Okay, so here's the important part. I'm trying to get my arm out of the way here. I know what I can do with it, but I'm not going to move the plants at this point in time. So I'm at several different crossroads at the same time, if that's possible. Let's start off with my supplement business. Difficult for me to say, but the business is suffering. Ever since the pandemic, my mainland China business has been greatly reduced. I used to make, even if you don't know the exchange, which I don't know offhand, but I would make between 12 and 15,000 RMB per month. Just to get a perspective of that, my teaching salary at the highest was 23, but usually it's much lower than that. So I'm making close to 50% of my income from the business, or an additional 50% from my full-time job. But now with the pandemic, with the new restrictions, now I'm lucky if I make 1,000 to 1,500. So from 12,000 to 15,000, 1,000 to 1,500, no matter what currency it is a major difference. But that's okay, I understand it. I know I'm not the only one who's feeling that. But what I am feeling is a lot of unappreciation from my efforts, a lot of people who are not loyal. People, I've gone out of my way to help them, to locate hard-to-find products that nobody else can find. When there is a problem, I resolve it in any way possible, as efficiently as possible, often paying out of my own pocket because the suppliers won't refund certain things. And then a lot of people just sending me on wild goose chases, wasting my time. A lot of people will ask me questions about a product for 2 weeks. I'll say, okay, so are you buying it? And I'll say it politely and professionally, of course. Oh, I forgot to tell you, my wife bought it from someplace else. And if that just happened once, I'd be okay with that, but it happens all the time. And I understand that this is part of running a business, but this is not my sole livelihood, and especially with the reduction in sales and income, it's not worth the stress that I put myself under, admittedly. So I really have to decide if I want to do this. Right now, I'm not in love with the business. I was really head over heels about it when I first started it almost 5 years ago. And that pretty much maintained up until the pandemic hit. But I mean, I've put everything I've had into this. I've risked my teaching positions by conducting business at work quite a bit. I've interrupted my workouts to help out customers. I've loaned customers money, and then I find out that they ordered something from somebody else the next week. And would that guy have loaned you money? I let customers buy on credit. Would the other guy let you do that? So I've been more than accommodating. I've been too nice for my own good. And a lot of it is because of my insecurities that people will go someplace else. But you know what? They go someplace else anyway because people today are just not loyal. And if it means saving even a few pennies, then they have no loyalties whatsoever. And I was talking to my buddy about it. Not everyone has the same ethics or standards that I do, and I get frustrated when people don't think the same way I do. I am loyal to a fault. I'll pay more if the service is better, or if the people did something nice for me. And I expect other people to think that way too when it's just not realistic. Some people just don't care. Whatever is easier or least expensive. I'll walk past a good restaurant to go to a more expensive, maybe not such a great food as another one, but because they treated us well there and they were genuinely happy that we were there. But not everyone thinks that way. And it's hard for me to adjust. Now, I'm 56 years old now. Just had a birthday last week. And I don't see myself changing. And also I'm discussing this with my buddy, and he's, just let it go. Well, if I were the kind of person who were able to let things go, I wouldn't have sabotaged my first marriage. I wouldn't argue anything that I perceived as an injustice with my jobs and ended up being unhappy there and eventually leaving. I wouldn't have been depressed the entire decade of my 20s. I wouldn't have made 2 suicide attempts. One of them had me in a coma for 9 days. If I could just let things go. It's just not who I am. And I've worked on it. I've done years and years of therapy. And, I'm definitely much better. I'm not depressed anymore. But when something is in my mind, it stays there. And I just can't brush it to the side. And for a lot of people, that's a sign of success, is that you don't give up on things and you keep persisting. I keep thinking of C.T. Fletcher, who said, contrary to popular belief, obsession is not always a bad thing. And some of the greatest successes in this world are people who were obsessed with obtaining a goal. So I have a lot of thinking to do. I've created some new policies. I haven't instituted them officially yet, but some people will understand and some people won't. But if I'm not able to make a living off of my business, then I'm not going to be unhappy about it. I mean, I used to love it, and I want to go back to that. When I first started, I dealt with a lot of colleagues who wouldn't deal with certain customers, who didn't take customers seriously. And I told them they were wrong. I said, you have to treat everyone as a potential customer, and if 2 out of 10 of them make purchases, That's a good thing. But now I'm realizing over the years that maybe they were right and I was wrong, especially with online businesses. I mean, this is the attitudes there. People are empowered to be assholes. People demand answers and don't even acknowledge that you sent them, let alone all the work that you put in to get it. How long does it take to type in thank you, even if it's slow? THANK spacebar YOU. What was that, 5 seconds? So that's the least people can do. But I really believe that people, at least people here, treat online businesses as a joke. And they don't have the same respect for it as they would as if I had a physical building. Think of it, if you walked into Starbucks and asked about the differences in the coffees, and somebody explained, well, this is from Costa Rica, this is from Africa, this one has a bitter taste, this one has a sour taste, and all of that. You wouldn't just turn your back on them, not say anything, and walk away. Yet, that's what I face on a daily basis. So there's a car outside making a lot of noise for absolutely no reason. You wouldn't expect them, unless it's certain businesses like convenience stores or certain fast food chains, you wouldn't expect them to be open at 3 in the morning, but yet I get deluges with messages. And then people respond by saying, well, if you don't like it, you should turn your phone off. Why should I turn my phone off? Because you're being inconsiderate. I have families spreading over 3 continents. If there's an emergency, I'd like to be able to be reached. I shouldn't have to turn it down because some guy probably in the middle of a drunken bender is sending me messages at 3 in the morning. Have some courtesy, have some decency. The next thing I'm at the Crossroads is what you're looking at right here, cardio. I'm getting, and this is what, between this and the next topic that I'm going to talk about, I've taken tons of courses, I have certificates, I know what I'm doing, but now I'm getting so much contradictory information thrown at me that I'm having problems sticking to what I know and what I believe in, and I'm getting confused. Cardio. Is it worth it? Which type should I be doing? How often should I be doing it? So right now I would classify what I'm doing as low intensity, steady state cardio. In other words, it's low impact, I'm not going very intensely, and I'm just doing it over an extended period of time. But then there's moderate intensity, steady state cardio. There's HIIT, high intensity interval cardio. And up until recently, I was under the impression that HIIT was the best, but now I'm being told that LIS or MIS is just as effective. I just saw a video that says it takes 3,500 calories of expenditure to burn 1 pound of fat. Well, other videos that I've seen, and I believe say you need to do cardio 130 minutes, 150 minutes a week, excuse me. Well, if I do that, and I base it, the cardio is burnt based on what I see on the display on my bike, I'm looking at 1.2 pounds of fat loss a month for 5 nights a week of 30 plus minutes a night. And it doesn't really seem worth it to me. I know that there are other factors like your diet and other forms of exercise throughout the day. If you're sitting down all day, if you're active, I get that, but is doing the cardio worth it for such little yield at the end of each month? People have pointed out to me that there is no way that the calorie indicator on this bike is accurate. It doesn't know my metabolism. It doesn't know my body weight. So I can see that, and in the back of my mind, I knew that this number can't be right, but how off can it be is the question. And rather than increasing the time, I increased the intensity last week, and I was literally in a pool of sweat. Not figuratively, literally, I know what I'm saying. Was it worth it to expend that much more energy and effort if it doesn't significantly help in fat loss? And then there's the crazy people on the internet who say, don't do cardio at all. So I'm kind of caught in a social media flood, second flood reference, where it's got me doubting myself despite my knowledge and experience. Now I don't know what to do with anything. Same thing with my training. Obviously I did years and years in the gym before leaving US to come to China. And then I switched to resistance bands for a while. And then I joined the gym again once one became available. And then the pandemic hit, so I went back to resistance bands. And then when I moved here to the Philippines, I started with resistance bands, bought a weight set, did that for a while, went back to bands, and then went to the weights for a considerable amount of time before now I've been on the resistance bands again for about 4 months, maybe more, probably more. And I don't know which way to go. I love the weights, I love the feeling of doing it, but it just takes me too long with the simple set that I have. You know, it's one thing when you're in the gym and you do your flat bench press, and then when you're done, you move to the next bench and do your incline. But when you have to change it yourself 4 or 5 times in one workout, I'm doing 2.5 hour workouts now. But I'm usually in a gym, I'll do about an hour 15 or so. So that's kind of discouraging. So I'm going back to the bands, and I've been doing the bands, but I'm wondering how much am I losing out. So I mean, one of the things I'm thinking of is every 6 weeks, taking a week to just go back to the free weights. I don't know. The whole point of this is, I don't know. I don't know if I should keep the business open. I don't know what I should do with cardio. I don't know what I should do with free weights versus resistance bands. I don't know. I'm having a hard time maintaining the cardio. I'm having a hard time staying on my diet. All the side projects I've been working on so far haven't paid off just yet. I mean, I know it takes time and I'm willing to wait. But when you're doubting 2 or 3 things, it's just easy to make it a 4th and a 5th. As I'm pedaling away, we're approaching 20 minutes in about 30 seconds. So far, this is very relaxing. Out in the morning breeze before it gets hot here at a much more reasonable pace. I'm doing somewhere between 22 and 24 kilometers per hour consistently. As opposed to I was doing 30 with the higher intensity level for 35 minutes. So this is leisurely. I think that I would rather do more time at this rate than I would pedaling my brains out, especially in the heat. So I've got things I have to decide. Just to fill out the next 9.5 minutes of this, I literally just saw the turnout truck. That's fun. Not figuratively, but literally. You know that expression, you just fell off the turnout truck. I just saw the turnout truck. So the second book is out. I really haven't been following up on it or promoting it as much as I did the first book, so I don't know what the sales are. I would not be surprised if it's very, very low. What else? 99C.fit still is in its infancy, so I mean I've put in tons of time, literally tons of time. I mean I've uploaded between the videos and the resources probably at least 120 uploads, which takes time to do, which takes time to upload. And so far, I've only had 10 views, so that's not really worth it. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to let them promote more. I know it's new. I know how to, that's part of it, and it'll grow. But that's another decision. Will it be worth not only the time and effort that I put into it, but I've made purchases. I've bought tripods, I've bought microphones, and I've changed my personal workout plans so I can create content, realistic, authentic content of me training, even though that was not what I was planning to do that day. So, I put a lot of my time, my finances, my training into it, because that's my problem. I dive into everything head first, hoping that these efforts will jumpstart something and that it'll pay off at the end, whether it be financial or just conceptually a success, which is very important to me. So many things I haven't followed through on, or I haven't been successful at that. It's really important for me now, at this point in my life, to do everything that I can in my power to make my project successful. And when others interfere with that or don't support it, unfortunately, I have difficulties with that. One of my friends said that, are you doing this for the personal reasons, or are you doing this for praise? And I said, not praise, but appreciation. And he said, they're pretty much the same thing. And I said, no, not to me, they're not. Praise is somebody patting me on the back. You're the best, Steve, blah, 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 blah. But appreciation is people realizing the hard work that I've done for them to set myself apart, and at least acknowledging it. Basing future purchasing decisions on that fact, recommending me to serious customers because they're satisfied that I go in above and beyond with every attempt. But like I said, I just don't know anymore. One thing that people could say to me is, I have no secrets about anything, and that's what this video is. So yeah, there are a lot of frustrations going on. I have some decisions to make. So I have to figure things out. I am still doing the personal online training. That's one of the few joyful spots in my life right now. I really enjoy it. But I do need some more clients. And I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to book myself solid all day long, because It's not fair to the clients who I've been training for a year, 2 years. They deserve my focus, and I would only like to add maybe 3 or 4 new clients max, and then just focus on everyone and give everyone equal time, equal effort, equal input, equal everything. So if you know people who are looking for an online trainer, that's something, I mean, this whole video has been me expressing my lack of confidence in my decisions, but when it comes to my knowledge of trading and my ability to impart this knowledge on my clients, I am 100% confident of that, I'll tell you that. And to admit that, 26 minutes into the video, it's not the best sales technique. I mean, I should have started with that, but I'm being honest, I'm being real. I mean, even getting back to loyalty in businesses. We have a convenience store here. It's been up for a year. People all around the neighborhood come all the time. But now, another convenience store opened around the corner, and the same people who have been coming out to us for a year and have been treated very well. If they're short a peso or two, I let it go. I give their kids lollipops. Now that there's another store that may be literally 5 steps closer than our store, they're choosing to go there. And that just baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. I guess I'm pretty fixed in my standards, and I'm not saying I'm the most ethical person in the world, I'm the most honest person in the world, but I do have a level of standards, and for the most part I see it as black and white, that you have the same standards I do, or you don't. And I have difficulty dealing with people who expect a certain level of standard from me, but aren't willing to provide those standards for themselves. You know, my customers want quick response, but then after I give them the information, it could be weeks or even months before I hear from them again. So they want what they want now, but they can't acknowledge it until they're ready. And I hear the same excuses, the same 3 excuses over and over again. I'm really busy. Well, everybody's busy. Too bad. Like I said before, how long does it take to say thank you? You don't have to make a decision. You don't have to make a purchase now. Just acknowledge, okay, I need time. Anything. Everyone has either been sick or in the hospital. It seems like the only people in the world who are sick are people who ask me about sales. And that strikes me as very unbelievable. Or they forgot. Well, you know, when you ask me the questions, I didn't forget to research it for you. You shouldn't forget to say thank you to me. And a lot of us say, oh great, I'll buy it come payday on the 15th. And you never hear from them again. And I'm not chasing people anymore. I'm not chasing people. I'm not putting up with people who, in my opinion, are disrespectful to me or my business. And if the business goes under, so be it. I'm not going to stress myself out for unsophisticated, uneducated people, uncultured people. And some of you might find this offensive, but you know, it's very important to me to treat people professionally, compassionately. And when people take advantage of me, which they've been doing for a long time, not just in the supplement business, my whole life, I've just reached the point where I've swallowed enough shit in my lifetime. I'm not going to swallow anymore. So, on that note, we wrap it up. I'm available for any input, advice. I'm open to it. You know, I keep hearing it's business, it's not personal. Well, I put so much of my heart into this business that it is personal. That's the way it is. Okay, so I did 30 plus minutes at a comfortable pace. This is what I'm going to do from now on. Bye.